there's a few essentials that I've learned that if you don't learn, you're not going to do well without. And the first one is, if you're a little bit of a pussy who cries and just gives up after one thing goes bad or it gets hard, you're not going to make it. In my first sales job, one of my managers, after a few days of me not selling that well, I went up to him and I talked to him and I asked him, "Hey Robbie, how do you control your emotions?" And I remember him telling me this exactly. He told me, "Issa, you have full control over your brain. No one else controls it, only you do. Even though some things happen externally, like say someone is just mean to you or whatever, you're the one who gets to decide whether that affects you or not. You're the one who decides whether you get to laugh it off or whether you take it seriously and you just let it ruin your day. Essentially, you control your emotions, you control your feelings, and you control what you do over everything." And when he said it to me, it literally clicked. And now I teach this to everyone else too. Essentially, why do your emotions dictate what you're going to do? Why doesn't the goal of making a bunch of sales, making a bunch of money, leading your team, etc., instead dictate how you feel, how you act, and how you work? Literally, that's the way that we're being conditioned now. We're being taught and conditioned into leaning more into our emotions instead of our actual wants and our goals and what we want to get in life. And literally the only way to do this is just by taking full control over your brain, not letting your subconscious win, not letting whatever happened to you dictate how you feel. Yes, it honestly is a lot easier said than done. It's harder to do these things, but that's the only way that we can really hit our goals and actually get the things that we want. And maybe your main goal isn't even just to make a bunch of money. It could be to do very well in your job, lead a team. It could literally be anything. But the reason I want to start off with this is because this is the main thing I want to teach you, because this is the main thing that I teach everyone else in my team. And to a degree, you kind of are a part of my team. Like, you're out here, you're watching the video, and honestly, I appreciate you for that. And the thing is, there's so much money, there's so much everything to go around for all of us. And this was the first thing that I learned, and the first thing that I think everyone should learn, or at least one of the most important things everyone should have in mind, whether they're going into business for themselves, they're going into a new career, etc. This is one of the first things that you really need to get into your head, that you have full control over everything. And only after you gain full control over your mind is when you can actually, or when I would say you should actually start then focusing on the actual principles and what to practice on, what to get better at. So after you got that one down, the next thing I'm going to tell you to learn is sales. And the way that I learned is I got a sales job as my first job, and maybe you don't need to get a sales job to learn it in the beginning. You can honestly just go on YouTube, practice your own thing. But the thing is, you need to find something to sell. And it doesn't even need to be anything big, because if you know how to sell, you can literally sell anything. It doesn't have to be something you're super, super passionate about. Like, of course, that helps. Like for me, with the home cleaning, I don't wake up in the morning like, "Oh my God, yes, I get to clean windows, yes!" But I wake up in the morning and it's like, okay, well now I get to go out with my team. I get to do the thing I enjoy. I get to go out, sell, and I get to talk with customers, etc. Revolve your business around things that you actually like. And a quick tip for selling, I've realized that like back in the day, like the old time sales, that was all hard selling because no one knew what like any of these tactics or anything was. But nowadays, even if people don't know what it is still, like maybe it could work on them. But I found the way to do it now is to have more of a soft close with elements of hard closing in it. So with the call to action with these kind of things, I would say hard sell on them. Like, okay, if you want to get signed up, just put your email right here, just click right here, things like that. Or like, oh yeah, all we need is just your name. Sound good? And then with the soft closing, you want everything else to be soft closes. As in, so here's what we can do, and here's how it's going to help you. And then maybe even ask questions, make the person laugh, have a genuine connection with them if you're in person. If it's online copy, try and implement the same things that you would do or that I would do in person into online. And soft closing is essentially letting the person buy, whereas hard closing is really like leading them into the decision. I don't want to say force, but maybe it could be if you're going really, really hard. And that's how I've been going about selling, at least mainly nowadays. And that's the most basic way that I could tell you on how to do it too, without going into any really technical things or niching down on any industries or anything. That's just the most basic way I could show you. And firstly, I tell you, don't even worry about what to sell. Don't even worry about who you're gonna work for. Just focus more on how can I sell this? Because after you get that down, literally what to sell will just come to your mind. And really quick, if you've been enjoying the video, if you could please subscribe, that would literally mean the world to me. Because right now the goal is 1,000 subscribers before the end of summer. So I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, and thank you. I made another video on this. I think it's one of my bigger videos. I'll put up a card or I'll put it in the description so you can watch it later. But that goes in on how I found out what I can sell, and that only came after I learned how to sell. So watch that video later on too. I'm sure it'll give you some gems too. As well as I have a free course on my website. It's on the IFB section, IF Business. That also goes a lot more in depth on how to find what to sell as well as how to sell. Another thing is too, if you can do whatever you're doing or whatever you're selling at scale, do it, because the money is in the scale. Like if you sell a $1 product 1,000,000 times, it's more worth it to do that than sell a $1,000 product 500 times, at least money wise. But the money is in scale. And the thing is, with being able to do these big numbers, it really comes down to who you are as a person. As in, do the things that the person who has the things that you want is doing. Like, do you really think some pothead who doesn't do anything with his days deserves $1 million in sales? No. Do you think some type of scammer deserves, I don't know, say 100 customers? No. So work towards becoming the person who deserves the things you want. And the person who gets these outputs, the best way I could put it, is the person who's putting in the right inputs to begin with. And the inputs are literally just putting in the work and being the person who deserves getting the things that you want. And one last bonus that I'll give you is really try and involve other people in your operation or in what you're doing. Because let's just say if you're trying to go to the gym, if you have a personal trainer that you already hired out that is going to meet you at the gym, not only do you have another person who's now waiting on you, you've also put in money into the thing. So you just have so much more responsibility for the commitment. Whereas if you just say to yourself, okay, I'm gonna go work out tomorrow. Which one are you more likely to do if you're just starting out and you don't really care about it at all? You're gonna go with the one that you've really committed yourself into. And the main reason you're committed to that is because someone else is involved. Like towards the beginning of the business, when it was literally just a one-man show, me, I was nowhere near as motivated to go out, sell, do the work as I was when I literally had one more person working with me. So as much as you can, involve either one or multiple people into what you're doing, because that will really commit you to the thing and you're just more likely to get the results after that. And you're just more likely to put the inputs in if someone else is there. So to make a boatload of money and really reach your goals, quick recap, you need to firstly take control of your mind. Take control of what's going in, how you're reacting to everything, and know that you and only you have control over you. Second is learn how to sell. I would say learn with someone else, go sell for someone else in the beginning, and then as you've learned how to sell, you'll figure out what you want to sell and then do that afterwards. Next, this one's optional. Do it if you can though, is do it on scale. Do whatever you're doing on scale. Fifth is be the person who deserves the results that you want to get. Be the person who's doing the inputs. And lastly, involve other people as soon as you can. And that's how I've went about starting to make money, as well as how I've made all my money so far and how I've literally achieved all of the goals that I wanted to as well. So I want to say thank you for watching the video as well. One thing also that I want to recommend to you is join our Discord community where all of us are there. It's essentially a bunch of like-minded people. We're all together. You can talk with me, you can talk with everyone else. I'm all about giving in there. And so with everything being said, enjoy the rest of your day. Again, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate you, and have a good one. Bye-bye.